Here we begin our short or long series on creationism. Before I start describing creationism, I shall spend only one lecture covering the theory of evolution, the target of creationists. There is a huge misconception that Charles Darwin devised the theory of evolution because there have been plenty of evolutionary biologists before he was even born. What Charles Darwin discovered that revolutionized biology was the law of natural selection. Essentially, evolution is the process that takes millions or even billions of years, whereas the law of natural selection is one of the laws of physics and has therefore existed since the Big Bang. This physical law, the foundation of biology, has been explained succinctly in Charles Darwin's groundbreaking book, The Origin of Species. The way that natural selection drives evolution can be summed up as survival of the fittest. Now, Darwin was very clear in his own book that when he uses the word fit, he does not mean strong. He does not mean that the strongest survive. Rather, the organisms that are most adapted to their environment are the ones that survive. We humans are adapted to our environment, and bacteria are adapted to their own environment. No organism is better than another. They're just different from each other depending on the environment. An example of natural selection is when you have a species of stick insects. The species does not evolve, but there is a population within this species that does evolve. Let's say that you have a North American population of this species. If the North American stick insects are a darker shade of brown than the tree branches that they live on, they are more noticeable to predators. But a few individuals might be born with a mutation in their genes that allows them to camouflage with those branches. Hence, those individuals can reproduce together while the rest of the population is eaten by predators, and the camouflaging stick insects increase the probability that at least some of their offspring will be born with the beneficial mutation. Eventually, the offspring that inherit this mutation reproduce with each other, and sure enough, all of their descendants can camouflage with the branches. Because the dark brown individuals died off while the camouflaging individuals survived, the population has become a population that can camouflage with the branches. That is how the population has evolved. Eventually, over millions of years, a specific type of evolution called speciation occurs. Speciation is the process of an evolved population becoming a separate species from the ancestral species. That means that the camouflaging population can, over millions of years, become a separate species from the genetically diverse species of camouflaging and non-camouflaging stick insects. Because humans have undergone this same process of evolving to eventually speciate away from a more primitive species of primate, creationists despise the theory of evolution. It contradicts a literal reading of the Bible. I will explain in the next lecture on Skepticism 101 how exactly the theory of evolution contradicts a literal reading of the Bible and therefore leads some Christians to become creationists. Join me once again for my series on ancient Mesopotamia in History 01.